Well, hello, everybody. Welcome out to the Cars, Bars, and Guitars and Hurricanes podcast, episode number 16. I'm AJ.
Oh, my. And I'm Steve.
Hey, Steve. Who are we brought to you today by?
J.J. McClure's Ghost.
I don't get the reference.
Cannonball, the bandit.
Oh, yes. Okay, I didn't know his name because it's been...
Yeah, there's him in Cannonball Run.
It has been so long since I've seen it that I did just kind of...
First one, yeah. Second one, maybe not so much. Third one's decent, but doesn't have Burt Reynolds in it. It does have John Candy and Eugene Levy.
What a mashup.
The BMW 7 Series scene's pretty fantastic.
Jackie Chan was in the second one?
I think the first one.
Okay, it was the first one, because there was a Starion in the second one.
It must have been the second one. I think he was at a Subaru in the first one and a Starion in the second.
He's not a lesbian, is he?
Pardon?
Subaru. It was marketed to lesbians in the 90s.
Yeah, when the movie was in the 80s, so that doesn't quite fly.
It's the prequel.
Yeah,
well,
see, the OG lesbian? What?
Oh, Brat. So, Steve, what are we drinking right now?
Redbreast, 12-year.
Oh,
thanks, Sean.
Fuck, yes. Single pot still Irish whiskey, aged 12 years. Matured in the finest oak casks. Irish Distillers, Middleton Distillery, Middleton CO Cork. Product of Ireland. Steve.
Is that courtesy of that English princess, Kate Middleton?
It's not as sweet as that. But check out the top of the... read us the tasting notes, Steve. Your eyesight's gooder than mine.
Need more lights in here.
By the way, it's delicious.
Tasting notes. Nose. A complex... This script is killing me. A complex, spicy, fruity aroma with toasted wood notes evident. Taste. Full-flavored and complex. A harmonious balance of spicy, creamy, fruity, sherry, and toasted notes. Finish. Satisfyingly long, for the complex flavors linger on the palate.
Just like us.
Single pot still Irish whiskey is unique to Ireland. It is regarded as the quintessential style of Irish whiskey, safeguarded and nurtured under the watchful eye of the Middleton Distillery for almost 200 years. And we only got 12 in this bottle? Jerks.
Bullshit.
Single pot Irish whiskey is made from a mash of malted and unmalted barley and then triple distilled in traditional copper pot stills. Pot still mash whiskeys are characterized by full, complex flavors and flavorful, creamy...
What?
I don't want to say that last word.
I'll say the last word. Palate?
Mouth feelers.
Ooh. Ooh. That one.
It's texture for liquids, the white part.
I thought
not the beige part.
I was looking up at the script, not at the bottom. That's a horrible. That is a really horrible word. Is there a word worse than that? Is that your you're moist? Is that your moist? Because everybody hates moist, and I don't know why they hate moist.
Oi. They hate Australian punks. But it's that oi noise that usually does.
But they love boy bands.
At least they did 20 years ago.
BOI bands. Boy bands. So mouthfeel. I'm trying to for different mouthful.
With my trigger words.
Yeah, for different reasons, I hate the word guesstimate. It's just like nails on a chalkboard to me because it's either a guess or it is an estimate. There is no guess. A guess is just sort of, you're just guessing. It's out of thin air.
That one never bugged me, and it's probably been a while since I've actually used it.
An estimate is, what's the word I'm looking for?
It's a guess.
No, it's an educated guess. It's an educated guess. So what is a guesstimate? A cross between an educated guess and a not educated guess?
Sure.
I don't like that.
That's how I shout at Jeopardy, a series of guesstimates.
Pretty good at Jeopardy. I like Jeopardy. Emily won't let me watch it because she says we're not 80, but who knows? I'm going to enjoy some more of this Redbreast.
I'm going to switch your DVR with one just full of Murder, She Wrote and see if it notices a difference.
We're Murder She Purrs. That was a very short-lived thing. You know that was a real thing, right?
Pardon?
Murder She Purrs.
So she was a cat?
If there was cat involved.
Angela Catsbury?
Jesus Christ. Let's see here.
The show's taking place in a tiny town in Maine, and somehow she has an awful lot to write about. Was, in fact, she the killer?
Murder She Purred, a Mrs. Murphy mystery. Couldn't make this up. 1998 detective fiction comedy, hour and a half, 5.9 IMDb. 94% of Google users like this movie. Her cat and Welsh corgi help a Virginia postmistress, Ricky Lake, investigate a handsome neighbor, Lyndon Ashby's role in a killing. We gotta watch this now. You want to get hurricaned in and watch this? Ricky fucking Lake is in it.
And all the girlies saying pretty white for a fly guy.
I always thought Ricky Lake and Monica Lewinsky looked alike. Did you never see the...
I have not seen that mashup, no.
No, not a mashup, but let's see. This will be the first time
or
Google...
side by side, no, nothing.
Let's see, Ricky Lake and Monica Lewinsky. This will be the first time anybody's ever typed those two names into Google together, so I'm hoping somebody else sees. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. You know what? Never mind. I don't feel like fucking looking at it. I do not feel like having pictures of Ricky Lake and Monica Lewinsky on my phone.
Safe search, bro.
Yeah, that's true. So thanks to Sean. Sean came back for reasons that were bad reasons, but he came back, and so he visited his friends before he had to depart again, and he got us this bottle of liquor and some good times, good stories. So thank you to Sean. Cheers to Sean. That's the proper clink. By the way, Mila Kunis.
It was like the giant shark movie of the Jaws 14. Apparently that was a flop.
If you ask me, most of them were flops except the first one. But suffers from sequels never as good as the original syndrome. Can we think of
Empire?
Yeah, you'd know more about. You would know more about that.
That's about it.
Yeah, you'd know more about that than me.
I'm just going with what all the other nerds say. I never got much into the Wars of the Stars.
I guess.
In fact, I like my Murder Bears in the third one.
The Murder Bears. Be a great band name.
The Ewoks was taken or copyrighted or something, so we're just going to go with what they are.
Ewaka waka waka.
Well, it's all Disney now anyway.
Yeah. Thomas showed me a picture. It was a cow, and the cow had Star Wars written on it, and the cow was like completely anorexic. And you see a guy with a pail, and the guy's shirt says Disney. It goes, "All right, ready again?" Evidently, according to Mila Kunis, who has an endorsement deal with Jim Beam, I think
that sounds right.
She says
she's been in the ads for them.
Yeah, she says the best way to taste bourbon or whiskey or anything is to chew it. So you get the little in your mouth and you kind of chew it. And I'll be damned if it doesn't actually work. You can get all the flavors around all your tongue, and it's pretty fucking groovy, actually. So I'm going to chew some more whiskey. Wait, let's chew whiskey together. That's a mouthwash.
Glycerine.
That felt like it burned. Oh boy, do you regret that,
listeners? Please do try this at home.
Now whiskey. Now
that's intense. I could taste that 12th year now.
The whiskey gargler sounds like a horrible serial killer's name. How's that Pepsi feel coming out your nose?
No, this is. I can't believe it's not Pepsi.
Okay, well, it's the same color blue, exactly the same color blue.
This is brought to you by that other German store.
Gotcha.
And they're coming to Concord Mills Wednesday.
No shit.
Yep.
Whereabouts?
Far side of it, where that new development is by Coles and Earth Fair. Far side of the theater.
Okay. Yeah. It's Since I don't live anywhere close to there now, I don't really get that way that much. But honestly, I don't feel like I'm missing out too much either. Because from Trafficville.
That too, but taking 485 to Duck Creek makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, going the back from 485 to, that's a breeze. I know everybody knows about it now, and it's still faster than going down Speedway Boulevard. Or
because you have half the stoplights.
I don't. I haven't looked it up to know if it's true, but knowing Bruton Smith, I have a feeling it is true. In his, about 10, 12 years ago, he was thinking about building a new NASCAR track away from the city himself because he wanted upgrades and whatever. Well, part of his stipulations to stay not only were improvements to the track, but to rename Speedway Boulevard Bruton Smith Boulevard. And this is the part I don't know if it's true or not, but it's absolutely believable. He had pilots fly a banner that says Concord loves Bruton Smith on it for like a couple hours.
I've met the guy, and I think at roughly 90, I don't believe he much gives a shit anymore.
He looks 90 though. Like he's a very frail, pop mark. He's an old fucking guy.
Yep.
He's not going to be on those. Look at me and I exercise every day. How good a shape I am. Cool. You're still going to die. Might as well drink it up.
Well, you could either die well or die badly. Mm-hmm. Or just die old.
Was it Stanhope that said, man, I hate when people say you're taking years off your life by drinking and smoking. I'm taking the years off my life at the end anyway, where it sucks and I can't do anything and I'm pissing and shedding myself. Might as well take those years off my life anyway, right? Stanhope's 50 now, I think.
That sounds about right. He and Rogan were the second wave of Man Show. Rogan's 47 or 50, yeah.
Rogan's 50 now.
So assuming that they're all about the same age, so then Kroll and Kim will probably be about the same age too. That they made it big in the late 90s, and if they were roughly 30 then, that'll make them roughly 50 now. I was in my late teens then. I'm approaching my late 30s now.
Don't say it.
That's how the march of time goes.
I don't want to hear that. Kimmel got his start on When Ben Stein's Money.
That was awesome.
It was awesome. He was very funny then. So it was like, you kind of knew he was going. Who knew Ben Stein turned out to be a jerk, though? Or at least on the right side, the wrong side of thing.
Bueller.
I've still never seen it. Does that surprise you, though?
Yeah, you don't see much. That's worth a look.
That was Keanu, right?
Pardon?
No. Ferris Bueller was, what's his fucking name? Matt Broderick. Matthew Broderick. Did you ever see the movie Election?
No.
Oh my God, that's just awesome. It's very campy and stupid.
Did somebody buy that?
Got to keep it. Got to keep the theme alive. I mean, got to keep it realistic, right? Oh, I don't want this to end.
You don't have to.
I should. If we keep going with just straight liquor, it's going to be just a nonsense by 40 minutes. Kind of like the other one was. That was episode 6. By the way, good news. Good news, everyone.
I just want to drink till my arm doesn't hurt.
We can do that. Or we can punch you in the other arm.
Go on.
We are on Libsyn. So cbgpod.libsyn.com for all 15 episodes. Soon to be 16 if I'm not supposed to work tomorrow. So
that's short for Lib-Redded Syndication.
And it's free.
Thanks, Schmoogle.
You can download it. You can share it. You can just stream it. And the file size is a lot smaller. You don't have to waste all of your data on YouTube. We're still going to upload it to the YouTube channel, too. But it's definitely on Libsyn.
Did you post it in 4K on YouTube?
I don't know. I don't know what that is. It's a lot easier to download, take with you, put it on your phone. And I was way over bit rating everything because it's just audio and there's no music. So the first ones were like at 192, which was just hilarious, and in stereo. Now it's 64 and in mono, and you can't tell the difference because it's all just talking anyway. So, but that's good news for you guys. And good news for us. It's a lot less for me to edit. Cheers again. Yes, more clink. At least these glasses work. Chewed whiskey. That's smoother than it has any business being. I've never had this one before, and when I found out how much it was, I felt bad that Sean just gave it to us, but when in Rome.
He likes us. He really likes us.
He does. You know, we did songs about the rain in the first episode, and I was thinking about doing songs about the storms, but it's kind of too similar. But if, in case you're listening to this and you're not around here, there's a hurricane going on right now.
Riders on the Rocky Like a Hurricane.
Yes. I cannot name another song by the Scorpions.
There's no one like you?
I know, thanks.
He's a woman, she's a man is a good one.
Oh.
It's not making this up. It's awesome.
Okay. Are they from Germany?
Yes.
What the hell do they know about hurricanes? There should have been a Raikou like a hurricane.
Das Wasser schade, mein Freund.
I don't know what that is. But they didn't sound. When they talked, though, they didn't have like this thick. Were they actually from Germany, like fluent, or were they just of German descent?
They sure sound German when they're speaking.
Okay, it's the old when you're singing, you sound like everybody else, except if you're Oasis and you sound like a Cockney Brit.
Yes. Hello, this is Michael Schenker from the Scorpions. You listen to the Scorpions. Here we are to rock it like a hurricane.
We believe
and a one, and a two, and a three.
We believe in nothing. You can.
Weiße Meine Lebowski.
We need to watch that again.
Yes.
I hate that I missed the 20-year reissue.
In the other podcast sphere, I found a lot of shows about it, and why, yes, it is well loved, and it's really funny hearing people totally dissect that movie.
I appreciate that, but at the same time, like not everything is a metaphor for something bigger. Sometimes it's just silly. I've got to hear some of these.
The bigger Lebowski.
What was who played him?
Jeff Bridges.
No. The other Lebowski in the heavier set.
Oh, the actual bigger Lebowski.
Yes.
I have the phone here, but I don't have the tablet here to MDib it.
No tablet. What?
Don't get rained on. I realized when I drive here, I was like, I'm not the one doing the lookings up anyway. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but you always have the tablet. So why don't you do the lookings up anyway on the big tablet so we can see it in our old age? Made in Oregon. There's a deer on it. Are there many deer in Oregon? Widmer Brothers.
Widmer Brothers.
Widmer. That's also German, right?
It's an Oregonian brewing.
I mean, Widmer is a German. Widmer's not a German word, is it?
I would imagine it as such.
Oh boy, I wonder what it means. You look that up. I'm gonna see what Widmer means in German. Probably nothing exciting. Let's see here. How many years did you take of German?
I had 3 years in high school and about a year in college. So I know enough to get myself in trouble, and I've probably forgotten enough to get myself out.
Oh, then when somebody asks me, do you speak Spanish? Enough to get me in or out of trouble, yes.
See.
Widmer. Okay, it does not have a translation. It doesn't mean anything. It's also nihilistic.
Just a surname.
Yes, it is. Oh, what was the other prop you were going to get for the table?
The Foursquare?
Was it a Foursquare?
That 4-player adapter. I bought that at the precursor to the Grid, which was the Goodwill Computer Works, which was on Freedom, next to the Goodwill Outlet / Bazaar, and a Value Village that's a bit defeated. But it was a neat little corner there, and I think it was through Craigslist I discovered that one. I took Colin there once. He was terrified. Lots of neat stuff in the shop, but getting to it from the car.
Yeah.
It Bring your good shoes.
How's the neighborhood? Well, there's bars on the windows. Oh, okay. The coin shop that I went to is out there too, off of Freedom. There's a coin collecting shop out there. I took some of my what I thought were going to be a lot more valuable coins to. The most valuable one I had was worth $75. Now, if it would have been like 75,000, it would have been their coin, and I would have been had the money.
For $75, that's half a gig.
Yeah. I'll just hold on to it. It was an 1899 silver dollar in pretty much immaculate shape. Has the Indian head on it. Very, very pretty coin, but only $75. I'll just sit on it until it's worth more.
That sounds painful.
Well, as long as you know what, never mind. Do some etchings on my ass etchings.
David Huddleston as Jeffrey the Big Lebowski.
Jeffrey Huddleston.
David Huddleston.
David Huddleston. Okay, yeah. David Huddleston.
He passed away about 2 years ago.
No way. He didn't look that old in the movie.
No, that was also 20 years ago.
We may doze, but we never close. I like that.
So today's koozie brought to you by Bert's of Folly Beach.
Nice.
So a lovely place to get sundry items, boiled peanuts, beer, sandwiches, overpriced Mucinex. They got you covered.
So it's like a Folly Beach common market.
Yes.
Okay, but not as hipstery.
It is simply at the whimsy of the other clientele that happened to be vacationing on the island as well.
Yeah.
And when I was there 2 months ago, I was walking distance from it. So Bert saw me 6 times instead of once.
I feel like we need to get Kreischer at Bert's Market and get a picture with him. Can't imagine there's too many comedy gigs going on in Folly Beach, but there's a Chucktown right nearby.
Yes, there is.
Probably
there's an Irish pub to which I still have yet to go.
Name?
Irish pub in Folly. I'll get back to you on that.
Something.
I'm not recognizing much of Mr. Huddleston's filmography.
Well,
he was on TV shows I've heard of but never watched, like Bewitched, Gunsmoke, Bonanza.
he is that old. Okay.
The new Perry Mason.
Wow.
Kung Fu. Wait, the same one they reference at Office Space?
That was in general, but Kung Fu the movie was David Carradine, right? I think. You know David Carradine, right?
Yes, he NXS himself.
I am looking for a pun to use choke
He was
in.
Magnum P.I., Murder, She Wrote, The Wonder Years as Grandpa Arnold.
No, it was.
So he was that. So he was that close to being on The Princess Bride.
That he was Grandpa. Oh wow, I didn't realize he was that old.
The West Wing, Gilmore Girls, Jericho, and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. A Very Sunny Christmas.
Oh wow, I might have to visit that episode tonight. What kind of beer you want next?
Surprise me.
Sweet. I didn't bring any beer glasses up here. Oh no. I'll just drink out of the fucking
like
bottles.
a bottle like an animal. All right.
Steve, I'm gonna give you the black lager.
Yay, I'm getting a blogger.
I'm gonna get the coffee pale. I figure we'll just do it like this. We'll just drink half of it and then switch. How's that sound? North Carolina Red Oak Brew. Ooh, where'd you get? Oh, never mind.
Oktoberfest.
I was gonna say, where'd you get that? But
2 years ago. I didn't realize the punchline to my joke would become the national issue.
all right, now Steve and I are cracking open two Sam Adams. I have the coffee pale ale, and Steve has
The Black Lager.
sweet.
Crisp and dark with hints of cocoa.
Aw, but she's so peaceful downstairs sleeping.
Not anymore. She's delicious in the beer.
And then I have a rich coffee flavor with a smooth finish.
Shit's good, dude.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't really want to give up half of this. It's really fucking good.
It's
But
all right.
I'll give up half, though. It's really good.
Better act quickly. This, oddly enough, this tastes more like coffee than that one does. That one's more sweet.
No way.
This is more coffee-ish.
Interesting. I see what you mean.
And it actually plays really nicely after that whiskey.
Boilermaker it. I feel bad Boilermakering an $80 bottle of whiskey.
Yeah, we'll save that for Cousin Henry. The best damn bottle I found for $11.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Thomas left a bottle of Captain Morgan downstairs, but rum. Do you know what Taco Bell does to certain people? That's what rum does to me.
Makes you run.
It gives me a rum runner.
I don't feel I need to pluralize that, but next topic.
I don't know why. Yep, I don't know why. Steve's not into poo talk.
No.
I don't blame you. I'm not really either. By the way, the Seguras...
Worst NPR show ever.
The Seguras talk about that a lot, and I kind of just fast forward. I'm not squeamish. I just don't want to hear about it. You know,
I
one
mean,
of those things you just
Eddie
don't want
Ift already retired his podcast. That was Talkin's Hit.
Hit.
He couldn't name the podcast Talkin' Shit because iTunes wouldn't allow him to do that. So instead, it was Talkin's Hit.
Gotcha.
That's awesome.
Well, the best live out or the best ever name for any music related thing was Cunning Stunts. That was the best. That was when Kirk Hammett cut his hair too, and everybody freaked out because he had eyeliner and he had short hair on. I'm not fucking
Which
kidding.
Metallica was this?
I believe Cunning Stunts was 97. Oh, Wikipedia. I think it was 97. It was a damn good show, though. It was a damn good. Oh, it's funny. They switched instruments. They did the old what we used to do at shows.
So then he traded guitar for a guitar.
James played drums. Lars played bass. Jason played they all switched. Okay, well, Jason and Lars played guitar, and then Kirk played bass, and James Hetfield played drums. And somebody got it on.
And then, oddly enough, Kirk was also busy suing Napster instead.
That
Oh wait, 97 wouldn't have been a thing yet. Never mind.
Cunning Stunts. He 98. The funny part was after they got done, James Hetfield was playing drums. I was like, Lars isn't even the best drummer in Metallica.
Oh, hey guys, the Beatles wants a joke back.
Okay, Ringo Starr.
Ringo's not even the best drummer in the Beatles.
Every time I hear
that's always funny.
every time I hear an old interview with them, I just think of Wacko Warner because it sounds just like that. Do you swear to tell the truth and the whole truth, so help you God? Yep. Well, you shouldn't. It's not nice. Hey. Cunning Stunts, 98.
Who's helping me?
98. It was released in DVD and VHS. That's not a real thing. The title is a spoonerism of the words stunning cunts. Spoonerism.
Are we not doing phrasing anymore?
By the way, is this Archer's last season or was last season?
No, 10 will be.
And there are on 8.
9 was Danger Island. Did you see that?
No. I haven't watched it.
My DVR can help you with that.
Gotcha. I don't think I've seen any episode. After Vice, I got really bored with Vice. Not Vice. Shit.
After
After
Vice was more detective work. And then there was Archer Dreamland, and that started off amazing and got way too dark for my liking.
Oh.
And Danger Island's been fun. I've seen about half of them.
It got too dark for you?
Yeah.
That's dark.
It's super fucked.
Ooh. Well, I'm still not. I'm interested, but not enough to watch it.
DVR can help you with that one, too.
Wink. Is that your favorite soda? Wink soda?
Wow.
We still sell it.
I'm more of a tab man myself, thank you.
He is huge.
It's always funny to Tad.
Yeah.
I even heard of that. It's like, oh, this is Tad. Like, what? It's like, it
Yeah.
sounds awesome, but I've never heard of this band before. Like,
Oh, yeah.
It's like, tier C grunge. I'm like, the sale sounds good, but I've never heard of these guys before or since.
Here today, gone today.
Yep. But like, it's always funny having a tab at either job, and then somebody walking by like, where or when did you find that? It's like, Food Dog, or the unfortunate named Harvey's when the ones in Pleasant or Albemarle were still open.
Yep, which I never went into, even though we had owned them at one point.
And then they went into the clutches of what's holding on to Winn-Dixie's corpse as well. Hate to be a dead dog.
Let's see. Spoonerisms.
Because of I never watched that movie.
Oh, spoonerisms is an error in speech in which corresponding consonants, vowels, or morphemes are switched between two words in a phrase. These are named after the Oxford Don and ordained minister, William Archibald Spooner. This is great. Isn't learning fun, kids?
Learning isn't fun, kids.
An example
is that why they named the Family Guy street after him?
I'd probably. An example is the Lord is a shoving leopard instead of the Lord is a loving shepherd.
Well, there goes my very awkward Def Leppard cover band name.
The Loving Shepherds. Oh boy. Examples. What that's weird.
Steens of the Quone Age. Spoonerized bands.
The Kinkering Kongs their titles take.
Goodness.
That's a lot. 3 cheers for our queer old dean.
Meanwhile, at Guilford College.
Is it kiss to marry to cuss the bride? A well-boiled icicle.
If you're me, yes.
A well-boiled icicle.
The Glower Puv.
The Zintendo Napper.
I'll allow it. The lack blogger.
Someone is occupying my pie. Please sew me to another sheet.
I sold Brennan one of those.
You have hissed all the mystery lectures. You have tasted a whole worm. Please leave Oxford on the next town drain. This is good.
It's funny. It's like these almost make sense.
I know. Spoonerisms. Hee-haw. Oh, yeah. Hee-haw was... Did you... All right, you didn't grow up quite as country as I did.
I am familiar with it. But like it set the South even further back.
Until recently.
You know what? The weather right now?
P. Little Thrigs. Rendersella. Beeping Slooty. Oh boy, there's a lot of hee-haw references on here. Now here's Roy. My dad's name's Roy. Hey Roy. Roy's doing good, doing well.
Speaking of Cannonball Run, Alex Roy participated in his own Cannonball Run to beat the previous record across the country in roughly 32 hours, New York to L.A. Mm-hmm. I feel like I've done this before, but it feels pertinent in the wake of the Burt Reynolds ghost.
Yeah. That was 2012?
When
Alex Roy did it. Because he did it 28.
05, 06.
Okay, what was the guy who broke it, who wrote the article?
Ed Bullion did it, I think he broke 30. And then Alex Roy did an awesome April Fool's prank saying he'd done it in 26 hours a couple years ago. So Alex Roy had a decked out BMW M5. And in order to avoid impersonating a police officer, say, you do this in a Crown Vic that's decked out, instead he took a BMW M5 and decked it out as a German police car. Therefore, he's branded everything Polizei.
GPS company says Ed Bolin and team made the trip in 28 hours and 50 minutes. That is absolutely nuts.
And after that, or after or during that, he was manager at the Lamborghini dealership in Atlanta, and retired that to start VinWiki, where people can share tales of the cars they've had based on whatever their VIN is. Mm-hmm. Hell, if I've got my VIN anywhere, well, the life and times of the gray Volvo.
Like Honda has the VIN decal on each fender, and each fender, bumper, rear bumper.
Does anybody give a shit if it's going to be numbers matching Honda?
Honda, probably not.
Yeah, it's like, that's Chevelle's numbers matching. It's like, fuck, it doesn't run.
Yep.
Are these fenders going to crumble like tinfoil if I look at them wrong?
The souped-up Mercedes reached a top speed of 158 miles per hour on the trip and averaged a speed of 98 miles per hour.
Yeah, it's funny because the car's got to stop for gas sometime.
Yeah, he had...
to make an average pushing 100 is a generous velocity.
Well, he had the Benz's gas tank was only 23 gallons, so he added two 22-gallon tanks into the trunk, which ups his range to about 800 miles. So really, he only had to stop for gas twice. When you get to 800, you get gas. That's another 1,600. You stop. That's 24. Yeah, he has to stop for gas twice because it's not more than 2,000. It's not more than 2,400 miles. Right? It's 2,000. It's over 2,000.
It's pushing 3.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's another event that is less about the speed but more about the journey called the 2904. That it's 2,904 miles, and apparently a popular vehicle to do this in is a Subaru Loyale, the pre-Impreza. And like basically what the just plain Jane Subaru sedan wagon coupe had been became the Loyale before the Impreza
with cheese,
and it got a name about the time the Legacy came on the market in late 80s, 90.
Gotcha.
Just plain Jane Subaru that apparently it won't get you there quickly, but it will get you there.
You can't be first. You can be next.
Yes. Mm-hmm. A noted quirk and or feature of this car, spare tire mounted under the hood.
Right on top of the motor, right?
Pretty much.
Yep.
There's apparently a lot of room left. Like, I don't wish for my spare tire to be cooked. Sure, it's out of the sunlight, but, and the engine's not generating as much heat as anything of more substance, but that's still next to something generating a couple 100 degrees.
Yeah, I mean, you could make the argument that your tires get just as hot on the road, but the thing is, when your tires get hot, you're moving and air is hitting those tires, so you get a little bit of dissipation of the heat.
Speaking of tires, had not exactly a blowout on 485 a week ago, but came damn close. Had a nail in a tire and noticed that, all right, car's riding worse than it usually does. And then comes the thunking. I doubt there's a helicopter flying directly above me. I'd better pull over. And notice that my driver rear tire had in fact relieved itself of all air. And the sidewall was magnificently chewed into, I guess I have to call it a black wall in the black wall, because at no point would this tire ever be a white wall. The world needs more of those. To break up the inflator and give it 15 minutes trying to see, can this be remedied? Negativo. So went the car over to a nearby grocery store. If you need to break down near your parents' house. This was off the Highland Creek exit. and Dad was in town, so called him. He picked me up, borrowed his car for a couple of days, get the tire fixed. It's all good. Wheels looking a bit chewed up, but whatever. It's like got a new tire on. During which the tire shop broke my door handle. So what should have taken an hour to replace tire took 5. Like, what the hell's taking so long? Bad news, they broke the door handle. Good news, they replaced said door handle free of charge.
Golf clap.
So, yeah, last Friday was entertaining on that regard. And that was the first time in 4 years I've used a spare tire on that car.
And was it still inflated?
It had to be inflated, but it could still hold air.
Gotcha.
It was in pretty good shape at 16 and a half years old, since it's just been tucked away in the cargo hold of the car. A little temp spare. Mm-hmm. Nothing fancy.
And I have the full-size spare from my when I got the wheels and tires from that very nice Australian chap in Chimney Rock.
So does that mean it's a 90% size spare then versus what you have on it now?
Try again. It was a 60. It was not very safe to put on.
I mean versus the original wheels that you have is one of those now, right? One of the original wheels that you use as spare now.
Yes, absolutely.
It's still smaller.
15 with a 235 tire on it, so
Is all the same size on those? Okay.
Yeah, but it's all the same. So it's a square setup.
It's just a steel instead of aluminum wheel.
Yep, and they're a little lighter, which means I'll probably get a half a mile per gallon. So that's going to pay off in about 25 fucking years, I guess, for my extra tank of gas I get out of it.
Funny thing about people like, blah, 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 I just bought a hybrid. It's like, cool. It'll take you 7 years for that to net you much.
Yep. And then if your battery packs go bad, have fun replacing that. Although they're pretty easy in a Prius from what Tyler Hoover did, which I've unsubscribed from his channel because it doesn't interest me anymore. It's like the same. I can now, sadly enough.
What, you don't like vehicular Schadenfreude? I just bought the cheapest blank in the U.S.
It's getting tiresome.
Well, an update on his bunch of nonsense, though.
I know.
The 355 burned to the ground, and 2, he bought a Testarossa.
Yeah, he has a redhead now. That seems.
It was like it's got aftermarket wheels that are atrocious.
I've seen it.
It's like car looks. It looks different than expected. Like maybe because it's not red, it's white.
Yep.
But like this doesn't look right. It looks shorter than it should. The engine's correct, and yeah, those casters are atrocious on it. Like period correct aftermarket wheels.
Not usually a good option. If you're gonna go period correct anything, OEM wheels are probably the best bet. But I'm not a big aftermarket wheel guy.
I'd say I like mine. I like the way they look, but the car still rides like shit. So I think like once time comes to replace, the other 3 tires, sidewalls won't be so bad.
Well, look at all the even you can get the new Civic with 20s on it now. So sidewalls are a fucking thing of the past anyway. The 512 TR Testarossa, with
wasn't the 512 the one after it?
It's the same fucking thing. It looks exactly the same.
It's still got door vents.
Big time. Yep.
On the outside. It was really funny to see the door open and like, oh, that's a hell of a cheese grater you got there.
Rear track, 65 inches. She wide in the back.
That's 5'5".
5.5 feet. I don't know what they do to the track because I thought it was wider than. I thought the body stuck out more, but
well, it's also a short car, so the proportions look more generous. Like I would have guessed it was 6 feet.
You know what bothers me about Hoover is that he moonlights as this steak burger employee. You're not buying all these cars with this salary. What the fuck do you really do for a living? And I don't know what he does for a living.
As copying tomorrow done that well for him?
Because I'll tell you what, if you can afford to buy all that with just YouTube money, sign me the fuck up to do some stupid shit on YouTube for money. So even though we're doing it now, but we're not doing it for money. We're doing it because we enjoy each other's company and booze, but not necessarily in that order. Yeah. And the more I'm eyeballing this red breast, the more I want it. But I'm going to exercise restraint because Thomas might be coming over later, and he's probably going to want to try it. That's really good, by the way. And if you got $80 to burn, go get you a bottle and then come over and share it with your two favorite podcasters.
I wonder if it'd be cheaper at Frugal Doogs. Frugal McDougal?
Oh, Dougal McFrugals?
Whichever.
Dougie Mc... No, never mind.
Dougal McFrugals?
Dougal McFrugals. Still windy, no rain yet. Thanks, Blind Melon.
It was trying to when I drove here.
It's coming for us tomorrow morning. I think there's 10 or 12 inches. I saw the funny. It's like, hey, baby, I'm going to give you the South Carolina snowstorm. You're going to be expecting 8 inches, and I'm going to give you 2.
If only the rain forecast worked the same way.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm theoretically off of work tomorrow to have to deal with the crazies. You saw my banana sign, right?
Yep.
So here's
anything wrong with this picture? It's out of focus.
Yeah. Here's a top tip for you guys. If it's a hurricane or a snowstorm... I didn't
realize people enjoyed Mario Kart that much that you're sold out of bananas.
If something's empty and it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, it's completely empty. There's none on the shelf and everything else is empty too, and there's a storm, don't ask me if I have any more in the back. If I had them, it'd be out.
Is that the new thing? It's milk, bread, and bananas?
Oh,
so you're going to make the weirdest Elvis homage sandwich? What's going on here?
They bought anything and everything they could, not just bananas. I was out of cabbage, collard greens, cilantro, every bag of apple I had, gone. No bags of apples. Out of peaches, one of the fastest decaying possible fucking thing you could possibly buy on Wednesday. This is Wednesday.
Wait, but they come from a can. They were put there by a manufacturer downtown.
These are fresh peaches. They were picked there by a Hispanic man in a field.
Still a man. Do not discount the gentleman who's picking your produce. He's doing wonderful work, and we need him in the world.
We do. And then people asking, you got water? I don't know. Have you been down the aisle? No. Well, I'm the produce manager. I'm not the water manager.
Wrong department.
Exactly.
I've got the device that sprays the produce over here on the wall. So by that proxy, yes, as far as bottled water, please consult somebody else that way.
Well, I said, I asked them questions. I was like, are you on city water? They're like, yeah. I'm like, your power goes out, you still have water. They're like, oh. I'm like, yep. Or if they say, I'm on well water. Oh, that sucks.
Yep.
By the way, Lowe's and Home Depot sell bottled water. They're like, really? I'm like,
yep.
Yeah. And they do.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
Funny thing about, they realize that, they sell building supplies, equipment to affix things to things. It's often an environment where people are building stuff and sweating.
Which is why they have at the registers snacks, beef jerky, candy bars, such like that. Lowe's is great because you can get artwork and you can get your hardware. You can get a lawnmower, every cleaning supply, paint, lumber.
I gotta say, I've enjoyed my secondhand Lowe's mower I picked up.
Lowe's mowers are great. Mine still works, and I've never changed the oil in it, and I've had it 7.5 years.
I haven't changed the oil in mine.
Yeah.
Well, it's an electric, so I can't.
Thomas said,
I haven't even fucked with the Husqvarna. I was like, there's 7 horsepower of sheer fury here. Like, I just don't wish yet to bother with that. And especially not this weekend.
Hell to the no. I cut my grass Wednesday, so I
haven't mowed since Labor Day, and at this rate, I won't till Halloween.
You can have your own personal corn maze. A weed maze. Oh no! Don't call it that. Every stoner in the area would be coming out there.
It's grass maze. Dang it! Same effect. Overgrown maze. That sounds corny.
They wouldn't let me put a sign up on the corn display that had with the trash can. It says "Go shuck yourself."
They really shouldn't be modifying their produce while they're anyway.
It's a weird time at work because in my career, I've never at the same time have you been able to come into my department and buy watermelons and pumpkins and corn and peaches. They're all usually they're opposite season.
Yeah.
And now you can go in my store and buy everything I have now except cranberries, which is usually a Thanksgiving and Christmas thing. And what is the other? Cherries. Thankfully, cherries are out of season. Thank fucking goodness. Not maraschino cherries in the jar, which I like better than regular cherries. But I'm not a big berry fan. Like, they all taste the same to me.
They're the pits.
True. They're the seeds. You're out of beer.
Yep.
We didn't share. That's okay. I got more.
You got to sip and know what it tastes like. Good.
Yeah, you sip mine then. You remember what it tastes like, but it's only fair.
All right.
Yeah. Give me your arm. Let me twist it a little bit more. I don't want to mess that arm up. I like that arm. Is that the arm you almost burned down?
Oh, yeah. What? This...
Is the scar still there?
Oh, yeah. Like this? Well, it's not much of a scar.
I insinuated that you did it when clearly it was not your fault.
It's all I wanted to do was take a picture on the 4th of July 5 years ago.
Pictures are deadly. By the way, the hurricane...
That is the closest I've come to getting killed as a journalist. And now it lives on YouTube, and no, you can't find it.
The hurricane has given us some really awesome events. What's your favorite so far?
The saxophone.
That's a good one. I think
like the user box fence to try to blow it away was pretty good.
What about the play a reverse card from Uno? Have it go the opposite way.
Just talk to it sternly.
Yes. God damn, what was the other one? The fan, blow the fans. Everybody turned their fans on. Only we would. Somebody said this would be the page. This would be the picture if the world was going to end. It was like, haha, asteroids coming, and it was a picture of the crying Jordan face superimposed over Earth.
We had them first.
Oh boy, I'm gonna let you. We both have to re-beer, but when we do, I listened to the Elon Musk JRE podcast, and
don't listen to it when you're driving.
I watched it.
Oh, you watched it?
I watched it.
I listened to it while driving. Like, I'm about to fall asleep.
It was,
but
he's fascinating. Like he had, since you don't watch, I had time, so I watched.
Like everything's over ears. Like I don't watch anything anymore. Like that's why I'm behind on Archer. I've watched very little, any of the Top Gear since the initial series ended. Grand Tour, hey, what's that? Except the trim line of my car.
Yeah. Grand Tour. Or the VT. What did the VT stand for Lamborghini? You remember the Diablo VT? I remember what it was. I'm going to let you think about it. And I'm going to get more beer. What do you want this time?
Velocity Touring?
Nope.
Surprise me. As well as the beer.
Hey-o. Which hop notes have you had or not had?
Standard I've not had lately. Tangerine's fantastic, and you're going to like that one.
All right, you know what? I'm gonna
you should lose a fish. I standard hop knife.
You want a standard?
So is your surprise beer.
Well, if you get the standard, I'm going tangerine.
All right,
cool. I got confused for a second.
Different can.
Yeah, it was. So you didn't even open it yet.
Blue can, fake Pepsi. I'm drinking out of that. Green can, new beer.
I got it so cheap.
Can't drink out of that because I haven't done this yet.
That's never not funny. It always almost peaks out on the audio file. Oh, shit. All right.
You got a runner. Katink.
Oh, yeah. By the way, it's out of date, but it's beer and it's canned beer, and it's only out of date by like 2 months. That's why I got it so cheap.
Beer guy don't gotta know that.
Exactly. And if I can get cheap booze...
I'm a big fan of the random shopping carts of cheap beer and wine. Like I said, probably last episode, I picked up a smoked red for $11. Or no, not smoked. Bourbon barrel aged red.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, it.
Smoke aged.
Yes. Yes, because your wine's from the 60s.
We're drinking Uinta.
Yep. So I've got a Hop Notch IPA.
And I have a tangerine Hop Nosh. Nosh or Nosh?
I like to say Nosh.
We'll go Nosh.
It's not. There's no E in there. There's accent marks.
True.
There's probably not an incorrect way, but if it rhymes with top notch, rather.
Daniel Nosh.
Speaking of shows I don't watch anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, I enjoyed the first season, and it's like, that's a little more out there. Like, I think he's making his own Jackass now.
Oh?
I hadn't even thought of it, but that's what Tosh.0 is the new Jackass.
My old dentist looks just like him. Harrisburg, North Carolina.
Is he still taking clientele?
I hope so. Like, it got too expensive because he's out of network. By the way, this is such a 30s fucking man, 30s conversation to have now.
Hey,
but
network,
no, he was super, like Dr. Chaney. That was it. Super nice guy, but he looked just like Daniel Tosh, and I'm like, do you know who you look like? He goes, Daniel Tosh. Yeah, he knew.
Tom Cruise and Cocktail. What are you talking about?
Dr. Chaney. Let's see if I can find a picture. Dr. Chaney.
Otherwise, I'm gonna go to Dr. Feeney because that's his name. Because Boy Meets World.
That's not a good picture, and he has a beard in it, but all the way to the left.
I don't see it.
You don't see it, really?
I don't see it.
Okay, well.
It's the sun's casting shadows at Shant.
Okay.
Update your picture, dude. That's
it's the only picture I could find, so it'll have to deal.
No, your nose and smile lines are not flattering in that picture. Like, nope. Little indoor lighting, more direct sunlight, something.
Uinta Brewing, squeezed by Uinta Brewing Company, Salt Lake City, Mormonville. High hops, low malt, lightish body, color light, goes well with anywhere. That perturbs me.
It's a can, dude.
It goes well with anywhere.
Well, funny thing about cans, take them with you while out in the middle of nowhere.
Like Salt Lake
or
City?
Anywhere. What, you don't like your blocks 660 feet long?
Salt Lake City reminds me of the toothpaste I use. It says noticeably white.
But funny thing about cans of beer, proliferating everywhere, that you drink your beer, stomp your can. That which you're removing suddenly takes up way less space than a spent bottle would.
True. There's a guy on a ladder changing a light bulb in the very corner of this can.
How many cans of Uinta does it take to change said light bulb?
And which flavor? Steve, tell them about your non-tangerine version of the same fucking thing I'm drinking.
Government warning. According to Surgeon General, women should not drink alcohol.
We're not women. Yay, we can do it risk-free.
Brewed with renewable power, wind, solar, pack in, pack out.
Pack it out, pack it in.
Stalk us, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
Let
Awkward.
me begin. I came to drink, battle me. That's a sin. The compass at the top. Ooh, you know what bothers me? When people say compass. Right. That's another thing that bothers me. You tell me you've heard somebody say that.
Compass?
Compass instead of compass.
Well, you know what? I'm going to call my I-77 toll booth thingamahoosit.
That's only if you
come pass.
That's only if you have a yeah, I don't know where I was going with that.
This doesn't have much to read beyond the government warning and a few cute little things about the brewery.
Yep, I didn't know Uinta was in Salt Lake City. You got to wonder how the people of Salt Lake City. Well,
thing is, Salt Lake City is
blue dot in a red state.
Biggest, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the rest of the state. Gorgeous, nice people that do a few strange things.
Yeah.
And can't fully practice their beliefs unless they're in Mexico.
And backwards, their state is hat you.
Hatu?
The pictures look great. Like,
it's pretty there.
Just staggering.
Zion Canyon in Utah is effectively a Grand Canyon through which you can drive.
What?
So that's the thing.
What?
I went through there in 96. So
you want to go there in 2018? There's a hurricane coming. We got a Christian Bale out of this motherfucker. Let's go.
I think if I'm going to Utah, I wish to bail from said.
True. Well, Denver's right around the corner. And Vegas is further around the corner, but
yeah.
Or we go to Bonneville. We'll see how fast your Toyota Yak can get.
It's been a while since it broke 3 digits.
The Jeep's speedometer is wrong, but I have had it pegged. It did it quite happily, actually. Aerodynamics come into play more so than engine power.
Yes.
It's got the engine power. What's funny is it has the same specs as my Maxima in horsepower and torque did.
Probably in weight, too.
Probably, because it was 190 horse and 210 torque, and I'm pretty sure that's what the Maxima was, too.
In a roughly 3,000-pound car.
Yep. Geared a bit differently.
Uh-huh.
The Maxima, by the way, fun.
The Jeep has a pesky notion of still running, though, that you had, like, that should have been a good car, that Maxima. Instead, the electrical system was trying to grenade itself a lot.
Two slave cylinders, and I replaced, out of the 6 coil packs, I replaced them 8 times. So I replaced all 6 of them, and then 2 more went bad. And evidently, I went wrong by going OEM coil packs. The OEM coil packs were the shit ones, and the aftermarket ones they had fixed. Infuriating. But, by the way, when that thing ran, comfortable, smooth, fat, properly quick. Properly quick. And it was a stick.
What year is that car?
99, before they redesigned them.
Yeah, because I did not like that redesign, especially with the coin slot sunroof. That was a waste of real estate.
I like them, but I like the previous body style better.
The tail end was atrocious.
It was.
The newer ones.
It was, but if you got an 03 Maxima, you got the 350Z, 260 horsepower V6
and
with the 6-speed manual.
If I recall correctly, that was also the same time you could get an Ultimate SER with that same engine. So it was a slightly smaller one.
And uglier.
Eh.
They haven't made a good-looking Maxima since 03. And I know you didn't like it, but it was
miles
better.
Yeah,
miles
instead
better.
of now, like everything, like all Nissans have the Chrome Hitler stash.
It's
kind of between that and a Joker smile. It's not
the Acura
a
beak.
good-looking front end. It makes the Acura beak look good.
The TL, like the TSX of the same vintage one I had, I liked that grill.
That was gorgeous.
Loved it.
I like that mid-aughts style. That is it plain looking? Sure. But there's so many bad-looking cars on the road that plain ain't so bad.
True, because I think there's a fine line between plain styling and styling that ages well. Because I know I'm biased, but the S2000 ages well. Every Miata except
have you seen my car? it still looks outrageous today.
It does.
And it's 16 years old. Like, not bad,
Not
but
Aztec outrageous.
Yeah, no, it's I haven't figured out how to put little eyebrow vents in the hood to make it look like a shrunken Aztec and make people really confused. Like, I'm just waiting for like the pitting in the hood to be so bad it just rust through. Like 2 little spots above the grill would be perfect.
As long as you don't have the eyelashes on the headlights. That's infuriating.
Do you know how much mascara those things use? It's a lot. They're big.
Can imagine. Certain styles age very well, whereas something that was considered futuristic and blah 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 and all that hogwashy car nerd shit that they say that it's not. It just does not age very well.
Ironically enough, the retro-styled cars of the early aughts, the PT Cruisers that are quickly dying out, the Chevy Hannah's Ride, the last of the Ford T-Birds. There's this Icky McTavish.
Here's a fun story. At the other store I used to work at, before I got the store I'm at now, the beer guy had a company car, and it was an HHR. And I want to preface this joke with Steve and I are very pro-gay rights. It's just funny. Let it go. His daughter called his company car the Homo Hot Rod, the HHR, and it was funny. That's very funny. I just wanted to preface that.
The Holy Hannah's Ride.
Just wanted to preface it. Don't want to get in trouble.
It's you saying something told you by somebody told by somebody else.
Yes. That didn't age well. PT Cruiser, T-Bird. I don't think that generation Mustang is going to age. I think
the 05s?
05 to right before they redesigned them to make them look a little like Mark's looks good.
Yeah.
But that first generation does not look very good now to me. At all. I thought the last...
It looks mad decent, like the Challengers that are still going now.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
That looks like a giant version of its predecessor.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like those, but apparently the cars themselves don't age well because it's still mid-aughts Ford. Like nowadays, they seem to be doing better.
True. But I think the last generation of the Fox body Mustang looks better than... Because that was the 04 was the last generation of the Fox chassis Mustang.
Yeah,
it's not a Fox body, but it's Fox chassis.
Yeah, the boxy New Edge, what they call it, like the 99 to 04 ones.
Something like... By the way, have you ever driven or ridden in one of those Terminator supercharged Cobras?
No, I've only... ridden or driven in their little sisters.
I rode with a buddy of mine named Dusty. Hello, Dusty. You're not listening. A long time ago, he had one. He had I think he had a Kenny Bell supercharger running. I don't remember how many psi.
So we went from supercharger to bigger supercharger.
Yeah.
Zach Clement of Smoking Tire really enjoyed the 03 he drove.
He went from snail to what the conch. It was a 500 wheel horsepower.
Holy
and by the way,
snacks.
That thing fucking ripped. And that generation Cobra, I think, was independent rear suspension. I think.
Is it from the future?
I think. That thing hauled ass. It was fun.
Well, you did it have a trailer hitch?
No.
Then how can you haul a donkey in that car?
It's a baby donkey.
He's not going to fit in it. Okay.
Thomas and I giggled like little girls. We were on a road trip to who knows where, but we went by, you go on road trips and you go to these rural areas and there's a field and there's several goats and there's a couple of donkeys. And Thomas is telling me a story. He looks out the window mid-story. It's an ass. Look, it's a small ass. And I looked at him. We looked at me and he just started laughing. It's an unduplicatable moment. Induplicable? Unduplicable.
You can't copy it. You print it on red paper.
Cappy.
Cappy.
You can't copy it in Boston. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe fuck yourself. What movie? What movie was that from?
Ted?
The Departed. Same guy.
Eh.
Same guy, different movie. Speaking of Ted, did you listen? Well, we need to go back to Elon Musk, by the way. It's coming full circle.
No battery cover for you.
Oh, if we were only video feed.
It didn't work. For those not watching, because you can't, headphones are acting up. So I just beam myself in the right ear
Thanks, Scotty.
to have the battery cover for my headphones pop off.
Pop off Smirnoff.
That is a cheap and cheaper vodka.
I like how some of my friends are marking themselves safe from the hurricane and they live in fucking Charlotte. If you're not safe from the hurricane, I don't know what you're fucking doing that you're not safe from it yet. Like, don't mark your... Never mind.
It's a little breezy. It's a little misty. Yeah.
Beautiful cover girl.
Did you see my latest face-based wallpaper? Florence Henderson with the Muppets?
Yes.
I'm so happy I found that picture. So those of you, once again, watching, listening, waving.
I'm fanning myself because I'm sweaty balls.
I'm comfortable.
Really?
Yes.
I got bratwurst downstairs, so after this, we should eat, unless you got to go back to the missus.
I've got some sort of Pan-Asian cuisine going on in the very near future.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But it's Florence Henderson, Carol Brady from the 60s, 70s, with a bunch of early Muppets. It is a completely awesomely ridiculous picture that looks like she's singing, as are the Muppets. It's just like, it's she and the monsters. It's amazing. It's like, well, there's my Florence tribute.
Yeah, well, there was another one.
And then compound it with that more strange pictures following it.
The one that has, I think it's not all, shit. Florence from,
The Machine.
That was funny. Florence and Bert Kreischer.
Yes.
It's the one that has, oh, god damn it. It's, moving on up to the East Side Deluxe Apartment in the Sky.
Jeffersons?
Yes, and there's a character named Florence on there, and she's like shaking their finger, and all three of them are on the couch.
Yeah, okay.
And it has Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina.
All right, that makes more sense now. Like, I don't know what's going on here, but like, it's George Jefferson and getting a stern talking to.
Sherman Hemsley was his name, and I think he was gay.
Pardon?
I think he was gay.
Jefferson?
Yeah, I think so. Have you ever seen him dance?
No.
No.
We never saw a bunch of that show.
I did.
I just pretend to know his theme song, at least the first couple of words.
2030 is as far away as 2006 was. That sucks.
What now, math major son?
But back to the Elon Musk. This is genuinely like watching something.
What a time to turn 48.
Oh lordy!
9.
I don't plan on living that long.
Math.
I'm here for a good time, not a long
Yeah,
time.
you'd be all right.
It was very interesting because you pick. I didn't know he was from South Africa, by the way.
Yep.
And he owned PayPal, which I didn't know either.
Yep.
What was very
you never heard him on Star Talk earlier?
No.
By the way, he was on Neil deGrasse Tyson's podcast a couple years ago.
There was a really disconcerting moment with him where Joe Rogan's like, you need to go into my sensory deprivation tank. And he goes, I don't know if I can do that. I can't turn it off. And he kind of pauses. And he goes, Joe goes, do you think it'd be like scary. He's like, people who want to be me, you can't ever turn it off. You can't turn it off. And he had this look of utter like concern about himself. He can't turn his brain off. He's always having to do something. I kind of feel bad for the guy if he ever like runs out of ideas. I don't know what he's going to do with himself. So being a super genius isn't all it's cracked up to be, is it, Steve? Who the fuck wants to talk to me? Matt Lemon. Hey, Matt. Matt sent me an attachment. Matt's in Myrtle Beach right now.
Did he mark himself safe?
No.
Well, at least if he can text you.
It's Facebook. It's Facebook Messenger.
He's okay. 2, his cell tower's okay. 3, he's at least got enough power in his cell phone to send you something.
I'm going to text him. I'm going to see if he's all good. But I got to tell him that. Oh, by the way, did I tell you the hilarious new gig we have coming up at the end of the month?
No.
At Harris Teeter Wine Bar?
You told me that was in the works.
It's happening.
Which is really funny that you'll be playing at a competing grocery store that's pretending to be fancy that might as well have been walking distance from my previous residence. That said, that's where I picked up 21st Amendment Fireside Chat. They had it on closeout for $7.50 a 6-pack.
Oh, hell yes.
So I bought all of them.
Of course.
Therefore, tucked away somewhere in my beer archives are a lot of these cans.
Just clap your hands.
On mic, that's not going to be very nice to people.
Doesn't matter. It can be edited.
You know, since we figured out how to make this thing more better for easier editing,
true.
I don't feel like giving you more work.
That's appreciated.
It doesn't seem very nice. I like to pretend I'm a nice guy.
Here's the fun part, too, because the first couple of episodes I had to edit, I had to manually listen to everything and manually turn Steve's volume up and turn my volume down. Because you can compress. So here's your audio engineering nerdism of the day. You can compress.
Did Sean put you into this?
I could have hard limited everything to a ridiculous amount, but watch some of Doug DeMuro's videos and you'll find out exactly why hard limiting things isn't a good idea.
Because the ad following it is going to bust your ears out.
It's sometimes something will sound normal, and then when he's talking softly and he hard limits everything to really super loud, you hear everything going on in the background really loudly too, along with his voice. So now I've taught Steve to talk closer into the mic, and now I'm further away from the mic and not talking as loudly as I normally do, and now we're evening things out because with compression, you don't want to make it sound like you want to make everything sound good. You don't want to make it sound like it's compressed. The beauty of compression. There's your audio nerdism of the day.
Gotta chew the whiskey, gotta chew the pop filter.
I had a wrap earlier. Pepperoni, cheese, hot sauce, and mayo. So that tastes like I'm going to be hungry in a little bit. So I'm probably going to grill some bratwurst in the rain.
I'm so proud of making that shit up.
I
just ate a salad. This tastes like I'll be hungry later. To see it apply to other things.
Matt
brings
says
me joy.
Matt says the storm is annoying. Well,
it's not good as bad as just annoying. It's
I told him he could stay with me.
I like his understatement.
But he said, I'm on the second floor. I've never been through a hurricane. I'll be okay. I'm like, I know you'll be okay, but you're going to be bored as fuck if your apartment complex floods. And he has a new Jeep Cherokee, which means he has a new Fiat.
Wait, is it the new one that's less atrocious? Because I knew he had like the new one.
He has the atrocious one, with the one with the
one
that look.
The one that makes the the new Hyundai Kona look good.
Yeah.
It's that's the same design, only made better. It's not good, just better.
Have you seen the meme with the new Cherokee in like a 4 inches of water, and it says, "Look, Dad, I'm mudding," and it says a XJ Cherokee with big tires says, "You're not my son." That's awesome.
No. 2, what I have seen was white folks be like, hey, I'm half Cherokee. So it's kid, like half of him and half of this new thing. Like, bro.
What?
Throw in an SJ for all I care. Make it old school.
Matt says he's sitting up in the hotel all day today and tomorrow. Little windy, little rainy, nothing different than a regular storm. Supposed to really rain tonight. I don't know why he's in a hotel. I told him he could have stayed with me. But no, he wanted to be stubborn. By the way, Kristen sent me something really funny, and I can't find it right now, but it was she said, I think you'd find this really funny, new employee of mine.
Okay, like, what? I was talking with Sister Outlaw last night, but different Kristen.
Probably spelled differently, too. With a K and a Y.
You're correct.
It was how... I'm trying to word it correctly without trying to find it, but it was when white people give you their ancestry, here's what you say and here's what it sounds like, and what it says is, I'm 50% Irish, 25% Scottish, and 10% Welsh, and blah blah blah. This is what I hear, and it had an Airheads. It said mystery white. And I loved it. That was the first time you've given me the clap today.
Just today, folks.
Nah, just today.
I went through that. It's approaching the zone of relative unsafety.
Yes.
I did do that, and I came back 33% Swedish.
I told you that's why you liked your Volvos so much. I'm intrigued by Volvos. The new Volvo that DeMuro reviewed is pretty.
That XC40?
Yes.
I saw one of those. Like, that almost makes sense.
Well, look, if an absolute if it were available with a stick, it would get very strong consideration. That was beautiful.
What's your stance on electrical failures?
I am an electrical failure. I don't get electronics. The least electronic 32-year-old you will ever meet. That's my stance on it.
Yeah, so much so that your phone blew up. They gave you the same phone.
Still a better stance than stancing cars.
Uh-huh.
I will turn into an old man shaking my fist at things at that. That is the dumbest. I understand lifted trucks. I don't like them. I understand that. I understand mini trucks. I understand putting a V8 in a car the size of a shoe. I don't understand stance.
For what it's worth, I'm now 12 years removed from selling tires. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, I could see a profit motive. Oh, good. Yeah. Your tire chewed its inner side. Its inner.
Yeah, I know what you meant.
Tread piece.
I know what you meant. I just don't. I don't. You're making it handle worse.
Yeah.
It looks ridiculous. Yep. And people are doing it with S2000s, which is what bothers. If you want to do it with your shitty, bad handling EconoBox, go ahead, ruin your EconoBox. But you bought one of the best handling cars ever, and you made it worse. I don't understand. I don't get it. That is like buying, or you know what? That's like picking out of a catalog your perfect mail order bride and getting her over here and chopping her tits off. I don't understand.
Not now, Miss Jolie.
Some would say out of necessity. Some would say out of, you got the money, just keep getting tested.
Ounce of prevention, pound of cure. Like, well, throwing a ton.
I mean, the band The Cure sucks.
Oh, good. You heard Love Cats too?
I like Thundercats better.
Got a few songs of theirs I like. A lot of it I'm indifferent. But Love Cats.
Isn't that a little old place where we can get together?
If
Love
only.
Cats, baby.
Love Cadillac. What?
By the way, I love Cats, but
You've never
watched Cats the play. The Broadway?
Uh-huh.
Nothing. Did nothing for me. Don't get it. I like cats the transportation system better than that. It's not saying a lot, but
round, get around. They try to.
I'm not going to tell you what they say MARTA stands for. And it
I might be there in a month for a beer festival.
No shit. Which the Decatur Beer Festival?
Make Decatur great again.
Oh, what day is that?
20th.
October?
Yes.
I'm playing. That's Toby's birthday, too. We're playing at Southern Range Brewing in Monroe, home of the Imperial Cookie Dough Stout. It's as good as it sounds. I need another booze. You need another booze?
I'm here.
You booze it this time.
All right.
I've gotten up Twiz Ice. Are we going to go another not edible podcast? Here you go. Hanging on the old.
I can't make it feedback.
Yeah. There used to be a band in the area who the person who did all the singing ran all the sound, and we used to lovingly call them Feedback the Party Band because every time they play, they would have to adjust because every time they played, they would fucking feedback. Oh, I get the tall boy. Thank you. Yes. Oh, this is going to be a drunken episode. I'm okay with that. I don't have anywhere to be. Nice.
No.
That didn't taste...
I was expecting way more noise out of that.
Oh, I can get you noise. I'm pretty sure Emily's home by now, so I'm going to see if she's home right now. So, Steve, keep them entertained.
All right, folks. So what we have here is the Bandito IPA, courtesy of the Illegal Eel. Brewed by Monroe Brew Co. of Monroe, Wisconsin, not of Monroe, North Carolina, where he'll be playing very soon.
Yay!
And he's got a Lost Trout, which actually has something stamped upon the can.
Yes.
The Story.
Ooh.
Lost Trout Brown Ale. A real problem in these parts. Legend has it these species float plenty out back at the Brewery Creek, while others say the trout left town years ago. Where did they all the trout gone? Maybe those fancy creeks in the city. Maybe to a local fish fry. Or maybe, just maybe, they're living a life of crime on the street. The legend of abundant trout in the creek seems a bit fishy, but no, it isn't. Lost Trout Brown Ale. Truthfully delicious.
Truthfully.
I can't English now, good Holmes.
English is speak becoming hardness.
Not now, Ralph.
Is that his name?
I was thinking that sounds like a Ralph Wiggumnism.
Oh, it was the oatmeal. It's like what you feel like when you start working from home and you have regular interactions with people. Sorry, English is speak becoming hardness. Oh, hell, my goodness, that's fucking delicious.
That's courtesy of Rowdy Audi.
Why fuck, I'm not changing companies now, damn it. I got 6 weeks of vacation. I don't think I can keep that anymore. Yeah. So, sometimes I just feel like leaving early.
Like, as much as I hate my job, so I have 4 weeks vacation there.
Mm-hmm.
Did see something in networking that offered 3.
Ooh.
Like at 20-something an hour. Like, oh, good. I can finally get that 35% raise I'm looking for.
Yeah, as much as I'm
woefully unhappy where I am now.
I know.
I don't like the time. Like, the people I tolerate. Yeah. Whatever. And most of them I can almost like.
Well, you know what the good part about this is? You are you're trying to better yourself, and the person you're with supports you. So, and you got friends that love you and would do absolutely anything for you, and I
just hope I can too.
Yeah, well, one is very funny too is I think I got this from Trey Parker and Matt Stone when they were first starting out, and he said there's too much emphasis on people standing over you, people of authority or power. They're standing over you. Don't fuck up. Don't fuck up. Don't you fuck this up. Don't fuck it up. You're gonna fuck it up. Like, don't tell if you keep constantly beating people down, they're not going to succeed. You have to everybody's motivated differently. So, like, you work with people and try to build them up into being better people. There's not enough of that going on at all. So, if just think before you beat somebody down. Everybody's fighting.
Yeah, it's not even being browbeaten by authority. It's mostly by the equipment, the hours, the timing. That all my joints hurt. My eyes are going to pop out of my head. I don't sleep well, and now I'm feeling my teeth that are actually going to fall out of my head. Never mind the joke I keep saying that. I'm not supposed to be shaking this can I'm holding right now.
Welcome to my world. I'm halfway to Michael J. Fox. If your joints hurt, imagine how mine feel after a long day. Lifting all those heavy stuffs.
Yeah, and mine's all like nitpicking, like sifting out like tiny, like, all right, here's 4 sheets of paper that go together.
That's almost worse.
It's this nitpicky shit that I'm surprised I'm not blistering my thumbs doing this to fine tune, this one little thing going here, there, and nowhere.
At least you have fingerprints on one of your hands. I don't have fingerprints on my left hand anymore.
I
will rob a bank southpaw.
The time clock at work uses your right index finger for checking in. The Bandito's good. Don't flip me off.
Wow, I was looking at I was looking at homeboy's face. That's good.
That's random ass Lidl beer on the cheap.
Jeez.
Like Ollie's got a few cheap things, and Lidl's got better beer, cheaper.
Better and more, or just better?
Both.
So my brother from another mother, Terrence, my employee, he goes, "Hey man, I got beef with you." I'm like, "For what?" He
called me chicken?
He was fucking with me. He's like, "How come you never tell me about no common market?"
Shit.
I was like, "I didn't know that was a spot you would want to go." He's like, "My man, I'm going to common market every fucking week." I'm like, "Okay." It's like, "You got to tell me about common market more often." Oh, sorry.
Which one? 2, there's supposed to be another one in the works.
Where and when?
Further down south. I don't know when. That's called on our foot. The hell is that?
Sunlight will hit my guitars.
Yeah,
I'm thinking about redoing the studio.
With more window film?
No, thought about putting, like, just changing it up, putting the computer somewhere else. But it kind of flows pretty well right now, so.
Do what you want.
I don't know. I thought about buying some more guitars too, but Emily's going to be. She doesn't care. I mean, she'll look at me like, really.
If she doesn't like it, then she can use her music money to get her own guitars.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, I'm just kind of saving up, and I don't have anything to spend it on. I need to get the front of the S2K repainted and clear broad if I'm going to keep it for a while, which I am. But oh, by the way, guess what I found? And it's still. I mean, technically it's in my price range, but I don't want to spend that fucking much money on it. I found a 2012 Evora S for $37, but it had been wrecked in the front and repainted.
Okay.
Luckily, the engine's in the middle, so that's fine. Professionally repainted. For $37, and I went
about 5 years ago. I knew a guy in Lake Norman that had an Evora, but now he's in New York. Therefore, I'm assuming it is 2.
What's the plural of Lotus?
Lotuses? Low tie? I like low tie.
Well,
If
I'd be
only
fearing
the
high tie at the coast right now.
Fair enough. You're paying one putting down.
Everybody has said when you upgrade from S2K, you usually go to Vet or Viper or 911 or Evora. It's one of 4 cars. They're very similar.
And apparently Evora, particularly the 410, is the closest interpretation to the original NSX that exists in a more modern context.
Yep.
Like, is it a bit wonky because it's English? Yes. But does it hold up because the engine is from a Camry? Yes.
Without the dent.
It was in the front and got fixed, all right?
Yeah. Like, we'll turn it sideways in the back so nobody can see the dent.
There you go.
What is very funny, too, is I love Vipers, but when you get older, too, like, I want the interior to be a nice place, which is kind of why I don't want any lease, because it doesn't have an interior.
Yeah, I was like, I'd rather enjoy my Elise with cargo volume to hold a dishwasher.
And arguably a better interior quality. But the thing is, too, if you want to go on a spirited drive, but you also don't want a rattle trap.
I've only got one panel that's zip tied on, and I got another one that will be.
But don't you hate on zip ties? Zip ties are awesome.
Yep. It's like, hey, the cars beat the hell. Like, I don't wish to spend any more than I need to on it. Like, the car's been amazing. However, it ain't pretty.
Well, look, mechanically.
Mechanically, it's pretty solid.
It's mechanically solid. It is still comfortable to drive.
Yep.
For a daily, that's all you need. Like, I feel...
Like, I got up yesterday, AJ, and upon getting here, now about 24 hours after the last top-off, I'm now 55 miles to that tank.
Still on full.
Yes.
Yep.
It's
Oh,
like,
it cut out. Something cut out. I don't know why it cut out.
Oh, you heard the cutout this time.
Yeah.
Like, mine's been a bit wonky, but...
It doesn't matter. I have to keep reaching over and hitting save because if the power goes out because of hurricane, I want to be able to save as much as the episode as possible. But it is funny how priorities change because when I had my Starry on, I took the AC, the cruise, the heat, everything out, and now I didn't do that to the S2000. I don't care as much as saving weight. Because I want it to be a comfortable place to ride in all year long. AC, I do understand. I can do without AC. I don't drive the car that much. And when I do, I don't turn the air conditioning on.
Considering the place by which you work and your preferred means of household, you want your AC. Don't lie to yourself.
You know how many times I've used the AC in the S2000? Like once or twice. I had the windows down, and I'm usually driving somewhere that's not heavy traffic, so I always have wind, so that's fine. Like, if I could find a white CR with the AC delete in it, that's a rare bird, by the way. They only made, like, you know what?
AC delete is the stupidest idea this side of Quebec.
It's the rarity of owning this vehicle in that color.
No.
CR white.
I don't care if it's an extra 100 pounds. You need your fucking air conditioner.
I don't ever drive it. And that's why Mark's trying to talk me into a first-gen Viper. He's like, it's a Widowmaker, but you don't ever take it Widowmaking.
Yeah.
So it really doesn't matter. The rarest of the rare, Grand Prix White S2000 Delete model. Racecarsforsaleblog.com. Nice. By the way, didn't get a CR in Japan. The place where you get all the hardcore racing models, and you didn't get a CR in Japan. Why?
Let's charge them the extra 10 grand. See if these Americans will buy it.
61,000 miles, and they still want 23.5, but that's actually not bad. I was hoping it had like model numbers, like how many of them they actually made. That's cool to hear in the headphones.
It doesn't look any different on the screen.
Numbers. Sean thinks we look up too much stuff on here, but I think it's okay.
Hey, here's this thing we don't know. Let's go pretend to know it.
Exactly. Official CRFAQ. Thank you, S2K forums. By the way, LS swap is becoming more popular among S2K, and the engine only weighs 70 something pounds more than the original F20C. So I do understand. I understand why you do it. I don't think I'd do it with an S2K.
If you plug it out, all right, let's say you plug the engine that's functioning out of an S2000. What do you then put that into?
Datsun 510. RX-7. Ooh. CRX?
Oh, goodness. It's
not a horrible idea.
So then you harvest the drivetrain out of what? A Crush FRS BRZ?
Well, and
So
have it
then
actually
you
a
can make it
decent
rear
engine
drive?
in it? I know you
wait.
like them.
It's a decent looking slow car.
It's not bad. It's not a bad looking car, but the only reason you'd buy that over a used S2K or Miata would be because you don't want a convertible or you don't want a used car, right? Because you can go almost
I like my
as fast.
backseat for amputees. Damn it!
Don't have to live like an amputee. Let's see. How many of each color? Oh, wow. It's fucking rare. Okay, so S2000 CR in Apex Blue Pearl. They made 200. The really pretty brighter blue. Have you seen that one? Try again. Like that. It's pretty. They made 200 and then 21 delete models. So the delete model was no AC. Rio Yellow Pearl, they made 140 with 20 delete models. Berlina Black, 269. They made the most black CRs, 10 delete models. Grand Prix White, they only made 90 CRs in Grand Prix White, and 8 were delete models. 8. 7 plus 1. So they made 699 CRs. Wow. I didn't know it was that rare. Jeez.
Damn.
That's rare. So yeah, if I could find a white delete model for a good price, I'd fucking get it. And then I'd drive it even less than the one I drive now, which is a very low number, actually. What are you squinting at? Squinty McSquint face. Yuck. There's more peaks in this one, but I think it's just from laughs and canned pops.
Yep.
I'm okay with that. Holy. So there's a hurricane coming. Everybody's been... By the way, we've done a week's worth of business in 3 days. We usually do about $225 a week, and we've done... Before we even opened the doors this morning, we were sitting at $275,000 this week. Oh my goodness!
What are you doing? Online ordering?
Okay, I am so over working. I really hope everybody goes in tomorrow that's supposed to come in. Hey, Thomas. Thomas is calling. We're gonna answer. Hey, Thomas, you're live. Well, live. I mean, it's live, but we're recording
live
this
now.
Yeah, we're recording our podcast, and we're taking this call on the air. So, what's up?
Well, I'm going back to work, and I hate literally everyone and everything, and especially everyone and everything. And if you ask me how that's possible, I'm just going to hate you too.
We love you too.
The feeling's mutual.
Well, you know, I have nothing witty to say to that because I've had way too much beer, and some of it was free. And and the part that wasn't free, they gave me more beer for. So, don't ask me to explain how that works, but there's a lot of beer in me right now.
The funny part to our listeners is that Thomas is still at work and going back to work. Where did you take your lunch today, Thomas?
That would be Free Range Brewing.
You went back
which
again.
AJ is not fond of because it is full of many, many hippies.
No, I like free range. I can tolerate the hippies. I don't like Wooden Robot because of the pretentiousness of the South End.
Hey, Free Range
AJ,
is
why
awesome
would you not
place
like
to have
Wooden
first
Robots
date.
and all the people that come in wearing their ridiculous ties, trying to seem important, while not being important and working menial jobs that just make them look unimportant.
When are you leaving work? When's the next Olympics?
Now, would you believe me?
No.
2020?
You'd be right. I'm just going to put it this way. I'm about not quite through. I'm 2 3/4 sheets to the wind. I'm going to go in and walk around, make some people do some things that they probably already need to know they need to do. And then I'm going to go home in the middle of all this rain, which is all we're going to fucking get is rain and more rain because people are fucking pussies. And that's going to be the entirety of my day that my boss volunteered me to stay extra to do while leaving early.
And Thomas, tell all the viewers what your boss and then the other assistant manager did for the second day in a row.
The second day in a row?
Yep.
Well, they may have fucked off and left early while volunteering me to stay extra on my day off when I've had absolutely no fucking time to prepare for this hurricane. Although I'm not worried because it's just going to be fucking rain and lots of rain and nothing but rain.
Well, when you leave work, just call and then we'll grill out some bratwurst and some pork chops. How about that?
Is this a real thing? Is this a real offer that you're making?
Yeah, I'm theoretically off of work tomorrow, and if I have to go in, it won't be until like 11 o'clock or so.
But we're not grilling tomorrow. We're grilling like when I get off, right?
Yes, as long as it's not raining on me while we're grilling, and even if it's not raining hard. I've got some bratwurst, and I think we got some hot dogs left over.
That is the best idea I've heard all day. I'll call you in 39 minutes.
That sounds like a winner to me.
Fan-fucking-tastic. This is a weird conversation to be on the air, AJ.
I don't really. This is a very freelance podcast, man. We do us, and that's all we do. We don't make apologies.
It's Free Range.
All right, I love you, Steve.
Love you too, Tommy.
No.
Bye.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Work sucks. I know. You'll be at my show.
Watching, waiting.
Commiserating.
Thomas bugged me before I got him the job that I got him twice. I got him his first job, and then I got his promotion this time to assistant manager. He bugged me before he even started at the company. Why don't you go into upper management? You'll make more money, and you'll be able to buy more stuff and spend more time, blah, blah, blah. And I said, for years, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Just repeat, it's not worth it. Yeah, you're stupid. You should go into upper management. He is in upper management now. And Mr. Thomas Franklin Blaylock, Esquire III, who never admits he's wrong, goes, you were right. It's not worth it. I went, well, how about that? Somebody who has a lot of experience tells you it's not worth all the hassle. And I was right. You're an adult babysitter, and that's worse than being a kid babysitter because the adults know better and the kids do not. Do you feel like that at your job?
Most of the folks at work I don't have problems with.
Gotcha.
There's one called Shrek. She's getting better.
I remember Shrek. How's her swamp doing?
It's full. Especially this week.
You want to hear a funny story about a swamp? I guess this is a serious question.
Please continue the joke.
During cross country in high school, we were all running through the woods to Grandma's house, and we found this big old fallen tree. There was a swamp out back. I was like, let's throw some shit in the swamp. We kept throwing stuff in. We got the big twig, and it took like 4 of us, and we took this big old tree trunk and like probably 12, 14 feet long.
Big twig, like
That's a big twig. Sorry. I didn't major in twigonometry.
Understatement much.
So we all got a running start, all four of us, with a 12-foot long tree trunk of dead tree, and threw it in, and it landed so like it projectile like javelined perfectly in the swamp, and then when it hit, it stuck perfectly at like a 45-degree angle into the swamp. And we all laughed, and then like we kept running. The next day, next practice, we ran into the woods, and we were all running together, and the tree was still in the exact same spot. That was some thick swamp right there.
Sure enough.
Oh, to be 16 years old, 17 years old again. I don't think I'd do it. I'd do it for a week. I wouldn't go back and relive the last, 15 years of my life. But I would go back for a week. Would you?
Sure.
Would you? You were a good student, weren't you?
I did really well floating.
Gotcha.
Old school, new school.
You're not a
shit,
clown
go
from
to
a Stephen
school.
King movie.
I can't say I took the whole high school thing terribly seriously.
I enjoyed myself well enough, and apparently did well enough to do. Yep, they let me leave with a degree.
Nice.
Never mind what my nightmares keep trying to tell me otherwise.
I was hundredths of a point away from being top 10 in my class. So I was 11th in my class.
I was in the top third. There are a lot of people taking that more seriously. They're doing better now. Whatever.
Well, define better, because
At least financially, professionally.
I mean,
Nah.
does it matter? Do you think they're any more or less happy?
Different levels of misery, perhaps.
Probably, because money makes things easier. Doesn't make them better. Because could you imagine?
The thing is, to have it sure would help.
Well, all right. Well, let me devil's advocate you. I will double your salary, but you have to live with Bruce. And he keeps chugging his beer.
Maybe now it's not so bad.
Maybe now is not so bad. See how easy that is to turn around? Yeah. I know how infinitely glad you are that situation is the way it is now. We're all equally on your side about that too.
I've got an off-air statement regarding that.
Gotcha.
by the way.
Because Kay is
The diggity bomb?
absolutely
Or the bomb diggity?
every kiss begins with her. Actually, you know what? Every kiss does not begin with K. A French kiss does not begin with K.
FKU. What?
FKU. French something university.
French Kiss University. Duh.
I was thinking of another. Oh, have you seen the?
That word starts with a C.
Have you seen the T-shirt that has Mount Rushmore, but instead of the normal heads, it's all the Golden Girls? I want that T-shirt so fucking bad. I love the Golden Girls.
Thank you for being a mountain.
Travel down the road in South Dakota.
I don't know the words of this.
Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant. And if you threw a party, you'd invite everyone you knew. You would see the biggest gift from me would be from me, and the card attached would say, "Thank you for being a friend." Told you I'm a big super fan of Golden Girls. By the way, youngest one out of all the Golden Girls,
The eldest.
Estelle Getty. Yep, they made her look the oldest, and she died first. Weird. You never know when your time's up. Well, this time. That's different. This is the second episode.
This is still working.
Not only is this the second episode where there have been no stops and edits, this is the second one in a row. I think we're getting better at this. Or we've just been bringing the beer up here with us. That's a big thing. My bladder can hold a lot of booze. Steve, what are you doing tomorrow? You don't have to work or do anything, and it's hurricane season.
Might be tempting to rum barrels.
Rum barrels?
Bottles, rather.
Rum bottles. Oh. Like I said, I don't theoretically have to work tomorrow, so I'm going to edit this podcast and put it up on YouTube and LiveSend, but other than that, I don't have any plans. And no show. Oh, here's a fun story. I was supposed to have a show at Mackay Brewing. Where is Mackay Brewing, you ask? It's at Ocean Isle. Where's Ocean Isle, you ask? In Charlotte, near the coast of North Carolina, near Wilmington, which is getting pummeled by 100-mile-an-hour winds right now. So I texted the lovely lady named Sarah. Hello, Sarah. Sarah, we're not playing this weekend.
With or without an H?
With an H. So it's the correct way.
She spelled it with a hurricane, you jerk. How dare you?
She has a fucking cool haircut, which doesn't always look good on every woman, but looks good on her. It's the shaved on one side and then all combed over one, and it looks really good on her, actually.
The General Zurg?
Yeah, but better.
Okay.
But
kind of between a Zurg and a Cameron Esposito.
Yes.
Okay.
That's my favorite Mexican food.
I saw her over for Jeselnik years ago.
Super not like. By the way, that's a really fun place. Even when it's not busy, those fuckers get down out there because a lot of regulars go, and I can't tell you how many times people have said, "Thank y'all for not playing beach music." That's all we hear. We live here. All we hear people play is beach music because all we play is 90s and modern.
That'd be funny as shit if you start playing bluegrass. But play some mountain music for these beach folk.
Oh boy, I have a southern drawl, but not in my singing voice. No. I don't even. Well, I think I have a southern drawl, but when I hear other people from North Carolina talk, they don't think I have a southern drawl. But when somebody from Baston hears me talk, they hear a southern drawl. I don't think you have a southern drawl.
About the second grade, I decided
to not.
I do not wish to sound that way.
Okay, but we can still speak it fluently.
Yeah, I could still turn it on if and when I need to, usually for a comedic effect. Hey, man, y'all, thank you very much for listening to the Cars Podcast. I've been Steve, and this has been AJ. Y'all have yourselves a good night.
That's Hooter, Pig, Dicker, and Stump Fuck McGee, birds.
Toodles and threedles. Y'all stay safe out there.
There.
Yeah.
Thayer. The failed aspirin.
Don't spell this. It's a generic.
Bobby Generic from Bobby's World. Don't you know Bobby Generic? You watched Bobby's World, didn't you?
Apparently not enough, and it's also been a long time since I saw that.
Oh boy, I'm ready for some bratwurst, but Thomas isn't getting off for a little while.
I'm ready for whatever the hell that is Kalen's cooking up. That sounded good. Otherwise, like I could have gone to Winston-Salem to meet up with the folks in Colin for Japanese. Like, cool. I do not feel like driving to Winston for anything, especially the return trip in the dark, as I'm going to get sideswiped by a tree.
I don't know about you, but in Mr. Jeep pants, when I'm driving down the interstate in a lot of wind, it's not a safe place to be.
Get a little broadside by the wind. It's been less bad in the car, but in the first Tacoma, that was light enough that in a stiff breeze, it felt like it's about to jump a lane, and I did not turn there.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the biggest complaint I have with that truck, that it just felt too light, that I am driving a radio flyer.
Now take the Tacoma and lift it 4 inches and put a camper on it, and that you have the Jeep. So it's pretty terrifying going down the road in a...
Yeah, you had at least a little more boat anchor in the front end, but yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty scary. Especially, I can be sitting still, and a Camry goes by me at 40 miles an hour, and the Jeep will tilt a little bit. And the suspension's great because I've replaced every bit of it, but it's just so light and square.
That's a new damn Predator front end on those. Ugh.
I still like the one with the black top. I know that I know I got a hand in my motorist card, but that's not a bad looking Camry. It beats the shit out of like the 07, 08 Camrys. What year is Bob's?
06, so it was the generation prior.
Was that still a squarish?
No, so it went from round from like 92 to 96. So squarish 97 to 01 to rounder 02 to 06. Dad's in 06 to probably a little more blocky looking 07 till 11 or 12. And then the precursor to the Predator one was from like 13 or 12 until now that here's a new crazy looking thing. Like, either it looks like it's sucking on a lemon or it is a catfish.
So Doug DeMuro had, when he had the Jeep Cherokee, did you happen to listen or watch the Cherokee XJ episode a couple months ago?
I'll say maybe.
He had the worst redesign in the history of automotive industry. Is from the 01 Cherokee XJ to the 02 Liberty. But the only problem, and I don't disagree because I hate Liberties, but I don't think that's a redesign because that's a replacement. So what do you think the worst redesign? This is going to be fun. This is on the spot. Didn't look anything up. The worst redesign, and it has to keep the same moniker, and there should be no gap in years.
I think overseas, the Liberty was sold as a Cherokee.
It was, but
so by a stretch, that still works. Which is funny because the Subaru Legacy have been sold as a Subaru Liberty in Australia.
Really?
I don't know how or when or if I saw that. That's a great way to preface everything.
So the worst redesign. Okay.
I gotta say the second gen vibes up there. It got bulbous.
It got super. It quit going to the gym,
and then
it had a kid.
And also first gen to second gen Matrix. Not nuts about those.
No.
But those are lesser offenders. What about original Beetle to the new Beetle?
That's where I was going with this, except I was going second gen MR2 to third gen MR2.
Okay.
But there can't be any gaps because that's a long gap between model years.
And even overseas, like I think second gen MR2 in Japan was till about 02,
and that's a great looking car.
And then the Mr. 3 came out in 05. Like,
hey guys, I got bye guys.
You see how big the headlights are? Gee, they're bigger than mine and your heads combined, with beard and hair,
and hat.
So, do we want to include that big a year gap, or do we want to just go like? Because you can go moniker, or you can go the exact next, like 04, and then bam, the 05 came out. Like, the worst redesign. Because, to me, the first gen MR2 is ugly as fuck, too. I don't like the first one. I love the second one, and I hate the third one, too.
With the Mr. 2s, it's going to be 2, 1, and a distant 3.
Yes. I like the Mr. 2s better than the Mr. 1s and Mr. 3s. You?
As would anybody.
With eyes. Cherokee, definitely.
The XJ to the Fiat Js are far and away. That's an easy go-to. Like, all right, yes, that's a generous gap, but That's absolutely something that should have been branded otherwise.
What about the Civic?
Gotta say, the current ones I don't like. Because about everything else range from indifferent to almost attractive. And this new one, it seems the faster it goes, the worse it looks. Good news, everybody. We finally have a Civic Type R. Bad news, you should only look at it in the dark.
What about 05 to 06 Civic? Toby's was an 04. And then they went from 05, and then 05 was the last year of that model. And then the 06 they went completely different.
Yeah, that spaceship model that ranged for 12 years on, like, they modified that, but that pretty much looked the same car for that length of time, didn't it?
Yeah, because Toby's SI is a 2012, and it's in 4-door model. It's a better looking car. Thomas's wife Jennifer has a 2-door. It's not the worst. It's different. I prefer the other one, but I like simple, clean lines, so I don't think that's worse.
But that, what, 9th to 10th gen Civic jump, that's absolutely a contender, because that makes me envy the blind.
Contenders ready. Gladiators ready. American Gladiators? You didn't watch that?
No.
Oh. I told you I grew up in the country.
It's like, I never watched it, only have the NES game I got on the cheap.
Fuck yes, we should have a death match. What about the Smokey and the Bandit Camaro and then to the IROC? I am a IROC hater.
I'm sorry, what?
The 3rd gen Camaro to the 4th gen.
No.
Firebird?
No. Yeah.
It's the same fucking thing. It's the same thing. I despise
the 80s Camaros?
Yes.
You don't like those? Okay.
No.
That was something that seemed to always exist. Like, all right, there's that. I always like the Firebirds better because slant nose. Mm-hmm. And to go from the Smokey generation to the 81 where they had the same journal style, but then the lights were quartered off, looked less good, but not bad. And then it went to the slant nose, that always looked cool because that's Knight Rider. It's shit, you went from Smokey to Knight Rider?
Yep.
I've got no quabbles. And then 3rd gen Camaro, or 2nd gen Camaro to 3rd gen, that doesn't bug me at all.
The 1st gen Camaro looks just like an old Mustang, and sorry purists, old cars, those all kind of look the same. I've got it.
Celica.
911. 996.
Yeah.
Is that the winner?
No.
No?
I like Celica as the 99 to the 2000. That went from the Bug Eyes to Rejected Jet Fighter, and then the later generation that was even more Rejected Jet Fighter. Oh, good, you made it even uglier to kill this thing off.
My ex-girlfriend had not the Jet Fighter one, but she had the GT, the one before
the 90, the Bug Eyes one, which was
no. She had the Jet Fighter, but she didn't have the GTS Jet Fighter with the squared off wing.
Yeah. Ugh. It's I'm only really looking at those to steal their engine.
And a tree during a storm fell on her car, and then when I found out, I laughed.
That's how my cousin lost his Probe back in the day.
1st or 2nd gen?
1st gen, so no tragedy.
Which one do you like better?
2nd gen.
I do too. I don't know why people like the 1st gen so much. It was huge.
It had a turbo.
It was
and I think that could have replaced the Mustang.
That was the plan. That was the plan.
Yeah.
If you want to do that, pick a better fucking name.
Yes. And we called it the MX-6.
You know what? Sedan always did it for me, but I would absolutely never own one.
The current 6 Series? Somehow the 6 Series BMW looked better than the 6 Series Coupe and convertible.
No,
because that never happens.
I've always liked the look of them, but you couldn't, like, A, it has an auto, and 2, it's heinously unreliable. The last generation Millennia, those were, I really like those.
What the hell is a Miller cycle?
I always liked those.
And, like, what was different from that versus a 626 or a 929?
It has supercharger.
Okay.
Millennia S was supercharged.
Okay.
Yeah. Heinously unreliable for a Japanese car, says the man who had a lemon Maxima. All Maximas weren't that lemony. Mine, if you put sugar in it, you'd have a nice, refreshing summer drink.
Ooh.
I
need to go make that myself.
Oh? Go take your break. I'll
keep the masses entertained.
I'll give it a shot. So we are still in the midst of, now it's Tropical Storm Florence.
Yeah,
but
we're looking out the window here, and it's getting dark.
It's so dark outside that cops are going to come and arrest the sky pretty soon. It's now a tropical storm, and anybody who says, well, I survived Hugo, it's not going to be that big a deal. Yep, Hugo was Category 4 when it hit. Hugo was also half the size of Florence, and this storm is moving very slowly. It's going to dump a bunch of rain, a bunch of wind. Don't be stupid and think you're better than Mother Nature, because Mother Nature and Father Time are undefeated. They are going to beat you one way or another, so don't be stupid. Be safe out there, kiddos. But it's pretty dark outside right now. It doesn't look like it's starting to rain here yet, here in Mint Hill, which is a suburb of Charlotte, about 15 minutes from downtown, in case you were wondering where we are recording from. Here in my home studio, I keep hitting save on this project because I don't want it to delete all of the goodness for the last, 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 11 minutes of talking we've done. We're probably going to wrap it up pretty soon. I'm getting pretty hungry. But thank you guys for continuing to support us. CBGPod.com is going to be the home eventually of us. But in the meantime, it's Facebook.com/CBGPod and CBGPod.libsyn.com. So that would be CBGPod.libsyn.com for all of the episodes. There's 15 episodes to choose from. After today, I will upload the 16th episode. So you'll have 16 episodes to choose from to listen, to stream, to share, to download, and all that good stuff for free. We will get us some real sponsors eventually. But for now, at least you get all this content for free. Now you can download it to your phone, and it doesn't take up as much room. You can take it with you on the fly. Steve, you got any beer? Oh, you don't have any beer left. I've got a little bit of beer left. Are we going to do one more before we end? Nah. How you feeling, Steve?
Sideways.
That's how Emily feels. Asian?
It's more the Giamatti wine joint, but whatever.
Closer.
Thinking that more of the Giamatti wine joint, but whatever.
I gotcha. Thanks, Paul. We're getting close to being done here, so I just told everybody about the new exciting stuff they can download and such from this podcast.
Hi, we're listening to you from the internet, so find us on the internet.
Yeah.
I didn't phrase that correctly because you're listening to us from the FM stations. Tune into us on either 86 or 110 FM.
85.5 FM. AM would be, I don't know what the lowest you can go on AM is.
87.5 to 107.9.
87, that's FM.
Yeah.
What's AM? 1100?
600 to 1700.
I think AM radio is at 48 kilobytes per second. And FM is mono 64. And then CD quality is 128. DVD quality is 320.
It's funny because CDs sound better 128. Like
they do.
You can tell the difference between something that's been at 320 or 192 versus 128.
Mm-hmm. Whereas
Mostly
this,
because like people talking, you can step it down a notch, and then you can step it down more. And if the voices start sounding strange, or than we are, You got some bad sound quality. Like 64 is going to be a good point for that.
Yep, coming from a guy who has mixed his own music, you will tell the difference in music. In regular speech, at 64 kilobytes per second, you're not going to tell the difference between...
I don't see a KitchenAid mixer or a blender or anything in here, dude. What are you talking about?
We do need a refrigerator in here, though. That would be boss. But we're going to need a bigger table soon because we keep saving all the... I think we start saving them around episode 6. I don't know. It's a lot of booze. Mm-hmm. Oh, no. We're going to have to get a bigger table. Where will we ever find a bigger table?
The Rowdy Audi?
Possibly.
Assuming this is the same design they've got for sale now, it's $20.
How big is the... This one's 4 feet by 2 feet, I think.
Give or take, maybe a little smaller. The one they've got for $20 is 20 by 40 inches, which makes it...
Well, that's smaller.
Yeah.
This one is 20 by 40 then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is 20 by 40.
If that's the case, that'd be the same table for
Well,
about the same money I bought this for.
Yeah, might as well
That was
get a bigger
blind
one.
luck. Hey, let's go podcast. Cool, I just bought a table.
Well, we'll get. I got to get a new audio interface. We're going to start having guests. You're not going to know them, but it'll be fun because it'll be somebody else's voice besides Steve's and mine's.
What? We don't talk like this all the time?
Yeah, we can talk like that.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening to CBGPod.
Well, Esteban, I think we're done here. I think 2 hours and 16 minutes is a good stopping point.
That's a good run. Apparently, I've got homemade Asian food to go to.
Me too.
Heyo.
Well, this is episode 16, cbgpod.libsyn.com and cbgpod on Facebook.
You keep saying Libsyn funny.
Libsyn. What'd I say?
Libsyn.
Library.
Time.
Oh, yeah.
Liberated syndication.
Liberated. I'm liberated.
Liberated syndication.
Gotta check us out. Libsyn. All right, libsyn.com. cbgpod.libsyn.com.
Stay black, stay proud. We've been CBGPod.
Yep. All right, I'm AJ.
I'm Steve.
Later.
And here we are. Rock you like a hurricane.
You didn't say it.
Toodles.